Good evening, and on behalf of the class of 2020, I would like to welcome all faculty, staff, parents, family, and friends to this year's graduation ceremony. It is an honor to be here today with our community to celebrate the graduation of this year's senior class, one I am thrilled to be part of. I'd like to start by addressing the elephants in the room. Number one, today's speech may sound like a sitcom without a laugh track, but I assure you I will do my best to limit the commercials, except for this one. I would like to take a moment to personally thank everyone in and around this amazing school community who has had a profound impact on shaping me into the person I am today. Thank you to my teachers, who have always been amazingly patient with me, which I'm sure they can tell you is very difficult at times. They always took the time to make sure I understood the material and have opened my eyes to new ideas. I respect you all more than you will ever know. Thank you to my soccer teammates, who always push me to do my best and have truly shown me what it's like to have a second family. Thank you to my friends. You've all made me laugh more times than I can count and have taught me more life lessons than a self-help book. I can't wait to see you all grow up and have kids. We're going to have to form a support group for all those kids are going to go through having us as parents. And most importantly, thank you to my parents and my sister, who have never once stopped believing in me. I would both physically and symbolically not be here without you today, and there's a lot I could say, but I'll sum it up. I love you. The second elephant in the room is that yes, this is indeed a crazy time to be alive. People have lost their lives, their jobs, and their livelihoods. And with that in mind, to many, a graduation ceremony may seem like a frivolous display of pomp and circumstance, literally. But with those who have suffered in mind, we must move forward, and just as our country begins to reopen, we too must continue on to the next chapter of our lives. So today, I'd like to paint a picture for all of you what it feels like to be graduating right now. The year started off as every other: Friday night lights, thrilling soccer games, listening to Mr. Grabowski's life lessons and stories, snacking on Mrs. Hugel's Rice Krispie treats, homecoming, teaching the 8th graders what side of the stairway to walk on, although they never quite caught on to that, amazing field trips, spirit-packed basketball games, and most importantly, going to class every day, fighting through the senioritis, laughing and making memories along the way. But then Friday the 13th came, our last day of high school. The culmination of, for some, 13 years of our lives together ended just like every other. I was always told my senior year would fly right by. I just didn't realize it would zoom. During my months of quarantine boredom, I, like many others in my class, were forced onto the internet's most plentiful source of intellectual content, TikTok, to entertain myself, and I stumbled upon a video that said, they were born after 9/11, and they graduate during a pandemic. The class of 2020 is the class of tragedy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I disagree with that. To look at the events that have shaped the very fabric of our lives, which at times may seem tragic, is short-sighted and pointless. We are not the class of tragedy. We are the class of the phoenix. We have risen from the ashes of our sometimes unfortunate circumstances to emerge as stronger and more mature people. Although some of our homeroom teachers may disagree with that statement, I guess we were only mature people after 10:30 a.m. or Duncan. Although we were born into a time of fear, we learned not to be consumed by it like generations past. We rather process it and use it as a strength to come together under our common goals. As America may seem more and more divided, we, our generation, and specifically our class, are more united than ever. And to graduate during a pandemic, many may say that we've been robbed of our ability to make our final senior memories together. And while that may hold some truth, it also has a side effect, one not given to any other senior class. It made us cherish our memories we already made together even more. As the world-renowned day trip adventurer and street performer, Ferris Bueller once said, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. He only had one day off. We had about 55. And well, today we have been forced to stop and look around, and what we see is people we've spent virtually our entire lives with, people that have become another family to us. We have been through everything together. Every trend, phase, a few bad haircuts, braces, 20 different iPhone models, 16 Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, 15 Justin Bieber albums, 3 US presidents, and 1 full-scale global pandemic. We left an amazing legacy on this school. We are probably the last senior class to ever experience a true snow day, now that all the material is online thanks to an unplanned crash course on remote learning. Although we may have taken each other's Lunchables in elementary school, made a mean vine in middle school, or took someone's date in high school, we are now together more than ever, missing those times, as we are here to laugh, smile, reminisce, and celebrate for one last time. This chapter of our lives has unfortunately ended early, but there are pages waiting to be filled by our futures. We must always remember that these crazy and unprecedented times do not place a limit on what we can achieve. They are part of what makes us who we are, and dare I say, we are quite a bit crazy ourselves. For those that have known me my entire life, you'll know that one of the phases that we shared together was a somewhat unhealthy obsession with the late Steve Jobs. And while I no longer worship him daily, he did say something truly amazing, and I find it fitting to share it with all of you today. So, here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius, because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. We are the class of 2020, we are the crazy ones, and we are ready to go out there and change the world. Thank you.